parenting,
Hoes,
drugs,
bitches,
father figures,
bitch niggas,
mentors,
alcoholics,
people that you need in your goddamn life,
crackheads,
entrepreneur,
new crackheads,
successful business people.
ugly children. Welcome to NTS, which stands for niggas talking shit.
What's up, everybody? Big Hurt 916.
Jeff Brown, NTS.
You already know. Jeff, man, I kind of find it interesting, post-election as far as, what's kind of going on with this administration and how, prior to everything taking place, I recall Ice Cube, kind of like saying, hey, man, we need he's really pushing like we need a deal. The black people were dealing with this, a lot of shit going on. Everybody's making all these promises. He's like, I'm willing to sit down with anybody who's willing to talk and let's get into writing what's going to be the plan to try to help elevate some of these people who aren't able to kind of, achieve this certain level of success in America dream on their own based on, demographics and just things that happen over generations. And he caught a lot of shit because, it was, said that the Trump administration had reached out to him and it, they did it several times prior to the election to say, let's talk. And people were like, you're actually going to sit down with him? And yet he's like, dude, I said I would sit down with whoever wanted to talk. And the Biden administration said nothing. They didn't reach out. They didn't say, Cube, come down to the White House. Let's talk. Let's do a press conference, blah, blah, blah.
We'll talk after we get elected.
That's exactly what they told him. And post-election, all those promises, college loans, we're going to appoint the blacks to do this position, so-and-so, you help me get elected. We're going to get you in this position, this seat, Senate, this house over here. I don't see shit. And I know everybody that Cube's like, you know what, you guys threw me under the bus so bad. Fuck all y'all. Like he said,
right.
Switch,
Right.
So, I mean, here's a dude who came from niggas with attitude, fuck the police. And he's trying to help y'all. And y'all are ready to prosecute him because he's like, dude, we got to talk. At the end of the day, he's like, we cannot get a solution to a problem unless you talk to somebody who's been there, who can share with you what it's like to live there, to actually say, hey, these are some of the changes I feel in my community that would help these people benefit, which in the whole is going to benefit the city, the state, the country. And that's one of the things he was trying to put on the table. And I haven't seen yet anybody, none of these celebrities who are talking all this shit, come up and say, Biden, why didn't you do what you say you were going to do? None of them are saying shit.
And you're not going to see it. I refer to those people, and I got thrown in Facebook jail for this. By the way, while I'm handing out fuck yous, there's one for Facebook. Fuck you, Facebook. I refer to these people as buck shufflers. Buck shufflers are the Jasper-ass shade tree house coons who go out of their way to explain away the bullshit that Democrats feed them on a shovel on a regular basis and have for well over 50 years. Y'all, I know you ain't got nothing to say right now because you're going to have to eat shit. Because you're going to have to admit that you saw it like I saw it. I put a video up of Kamala Harris saying the following, and I quote, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something specifically for black people, comma, no, exclamation point, is what she said. Before she was elected, before she was even in the running for vice president for real. She said this out of her own mouth.
Isn't she the same one that laughed when she said she convicted some of these males and even withheld evidence for another black male sitting on death row, and she laughed about it and said when they asked her if she smoked weed?
Was it, bruh? Huge prosecutor of brothers up north also said that Jay-Z, that's what's her face?
Yeah. So,
Candace Owens that said Jay-Z was from Queens. I get my mammies mixed it up. She was very clearly, very instrumental and putting niggas behind bars hard. And this ain't to say that they didn't deserve to go. This ain't to say that. What this is to say is that she didn't upplay that part when she was putting on them Pearls and Chucks. Yeah, Pearls and Chucks crew. How do you feel? Here are the questions. Here are the questions. If you're going to critique, I put this to you. If you have a critique for this particular episode of NTS and you feel inclined to comment in defense of Kamala or Joe, you're going to have to start with how you feel about what has happened so far, and B, how much time are you going to give them to shut us the fuck up? How much time? How much more time before they Massa just open his bucket and sprinkle chicken out amongst all you Jasper ass shade treehouse goons? How much time? That's what I need to know. I need to know. Don't fucking, if you write a syllable in defense of Joe and Kamala and you don't tell me how you feel about what they haven't done, and you cannot say how much more time you're going to give them, then fuck you, you ain't shit either. Man, I got a lot of fuck yous today.
Hey, you know, bringing up Joe, and I know you had an actual interview with Judge Joe Brown.
Oh, that's my man. Shout out to Joe Brown.
Judge Joe Brown, man. And I just seen him get down with Kwame, man, and their video was going, it's on its way to go, it was going viral. And then they pretty much put a stop to it because he laid it out where he worked in Tennessee around Joe Biden, what he called black people. Mm-hmm. You know,
sure.
It was savage. It was cockroaches.
Dude. Joe Biden's mentor was Strom Thurmond.
Yeah.
I want you to look up, just Google Strom Thurmond.
Yeah.
Now, for those of you who are Biden supporters, could you tell me, A, how you feel about him being mentored by Strom Thurmond? I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to do your homework.
Yeah. You have no
Look
idea.
up Strom Thurmond and tell me how you feel about him being mentored by this man. And 2, could you tell me when specifically and where specifically he disavowed himself from the logic and ideas of this man, and on what day? Can you tell me that?
Well, you know what they had said at that speech, I guess, I can't remember if Tennessee or Maryland, but he was the last supporting, the last stronghold Dixiecrat. They call him a Dixiecrat.
Yeah.
Which is...
Dude.
Yeah.
Come on. We already know what that is.
You already know what it is.
You already know what that is. And it is, I am of the firm belief that voting has absolutely no impact on black people's problems, no matter which way you vote. It's not about your vote. It's about what you do with your dollars and about what you do with your time.
And this just came to me, man. Now, we didn't even get into the crime control bill of 1979, 1982, 1994, which made one rock the same as having 5 kilos of cocaine. Yes. Because of the disparity and because the crack was in the blacks and blacks basically getting them off the street. So now they're talking about trying to make weed federalized and blah, blah, blah. But this is what they did on the flip side of that. You know that they're about to pass, if they haven't already, I think in the House, is a bill that's going to make a lot of these gang members domestic terrorists. So all these guys gang banging on these record labels, getting these youngsters running around, and they're doing this because it's not like you guys are saying kumbaya or doing about Boy Scout stuff. It's violence. There's nothing about it that's non-violent. So what these guys aren't looking, I'm trying to tell y'all, it's some real game. And these are the people you have right now in office. See, it's a cycle. He's back. Right. And so now we might let you all out for this, but we're going to get you on this. So do you know what a conspiracy is? Where you have a group of people and there's been acts of terror in the neighborhood, robberies or break-ins and shootings, drug dealers, and you're tied in, and we got Instagram
we're gonna rope
photos.
You up as a group.
They just rounded up a bunch of dudes up north, like 60-some people.
And all of y'all that can't afford a lawyer is going for a ride.
Well, no, the feds is even worse than that, because the feds, see, what they do is they basically know you don't have the resource to fight. Right. It ain't like the state where there's different types of leeway. You got bail. There is nobody hardly gets bail in the feds. Mm-mm. And on
And
top
when
of
they come for you, they got
oh,
their
and
shit
it's
together.
already a deal because there's so much time. It's either 20 years, if you either take the deal, 120 months, or you go to trial and get 30. 30, 360 months. Take the 120 or get the 360. Or you can tell us about some other stuff we don't know about. You're 18, 22, 24.
We'll be back in 25 minutes. You hungry?
Telling you, man, and these are people right now writing these laws. And see, I see it because it's like, why did they push this so big in the community, let these guys bang and all this stuff? Because they're going to set them up to be the next. See, they're going to let all these people out and fill it back up with these guys.
Oh, sure. Because prison is big business. It's very big
They're
business.
not prison reform. They're prison reform.
No.
Really?
No.
You guys are going to reform the prisons?
No. I like what your boy. There's an internet. There was this guy I was watching on the internet who had been to prison, who said he thinks, and I agree with it, that prison shouldn't have levels. Failure to appear warrant motherfuckers should be right in there with armed robbers and murders. Everybody should be in one big pot. That's prison reform. You take your ass out here boosting cars and got to be in a cell with a nigga that's turning your asshole into a windsock. I tell you what, I bet that'll reform your monkey ass. You'll go home a little lighter in the ass, but I bet you won't be coming back. Because you will figure out that this is where they put people who do dumb shit. So I'm going to stop doing dumb shit on this level. And I get it. The dumb shit meter has been aimed against you. Because again, here we go. Here goes Jeff. Here goes your Uncle Jeff. Back into the fucking race pile. The Irish were allowed to sell dope to the weak in their community, build their infrastructure, and get out. So were the Chinese. So were the Jews. Every group of people, the Armenians did it. Every group of people that has come to this country as immigrants dipped into the dope game and were allowed to get out. You dumb niggas weren't allowed to get out and wasn't looking for it. Because you wasn't buying libraries. You wasn't buying computer labs. You wasn't buying stocks and bonds.
No farmland.
You was buying $50,000 Mercedes in the hood and big gold chains. So you made it real easy to not let you out. I know a few dudes, I know 3 dudes in South Central who shall remain nameless that own businesses that thrive, that they made that business through dope money and got out. I'm not going to tell you who they are. I'm not going to even tell you what the businesses are. But they thrive. These businesses to this day thrive. Do you know how many dope dealers I know that are in jail or dead right now? Because they couldn't figure out how to get out. That game ain't forever.
No, they like that lifestyle.
They
though.
like that lifestyle. Yes. And they weren't even looking at, you know what? What if I start flipping these garbage bags full of $100 bills in the strip malls, into apartment complexes? Not that I own with my face, but I own with my money. I own it with my face. But my bread owns it, and I got a white boy fronting me. Just the 3 dudes I know. That's exactly how they did it.
Yeah, the people, it's a bigger picture, man. And like I said, it goes back to like, just like what Cube said, man, who's going to sit down and talk? See, a lot of you guys, you know, at the end of the day, these people feed you a lot of hype. And some of y'all starting to wake up now and see it and be like, oh, hold on. When are you guys, man, it's been 7, 8 months, 9, when you guys going to start that new program or help? Oh, we're not talking right now. We're still, what are you waiting for? And that's the thing. See, a lot of you guys have been waiting for years for somebody to do it for you.
Yeah.
It's like even Ben Carson says something about it's not the people think the politicians are going to inflict the change. It's up to you to make the change. You're waiting for them to do it for you. They're laughing. Kamala and Joe's up in there laughing. They're not even doing speech. They're not even talking to anybody. They're not even doing speech. When did you hear this dude talk openly, debate about something?
Well, these people, what we're talking about is a people who have been left in metaphorical American deserts, food deserts, opportunity deserts, finance deserts.
You seen the border?
And then, yeah. But then again, there's a part of me that goes, how do you put a border on stolen land? How do you? There's a part of me that cannot escape the irony of a country made up of a bunch of motherfuckers who, after slavery, flooded it with immigrants and gave them all billions with a B.
They still giving it to them.
Of acres of free land.
It ain't acres, but they're giving them a house in the cot.
Oh, bruh.
But I say that does not say that. I'm saying, this is what I'm saying, the logic, right? All these groups, BLM, all these groups talking about the government, this and that, okay, are complaining about what they're not doing, but at the same time, these people they get 6 months to get on their feet, ID, healthcare, medical. Now, you guys are talking about what you're not getting. Why aren't you addressing that to say, hey, you guys are giving it to them, but yet there's people over here dealing with situations where if that money was pumped into communities, it would elevate these people. But you're not worried about elevating these people over here in Chicago, in Dade County, in South Central, and Louisiana, in Baton Rouge. But yet you're helping these other people who don't know nothing about what's been going on here per centuries.
It is because the people in the cities, in my opinion, it is because the people in the cities that you mentioned have, and black people got this bad, of turning their oppression and their lack and their situation into a fucking hot tub party for anybody else who's going through lack or oppression, instead of asking that your shit be handled specifically. That's how you get into, gays, we got issues too. Minorities. What minorities means when you hear it is fuck black people. Black people were promised 40 acres and a mule hundreds of years ago. Do you know that every other group that has asked for reparations has got it? But there still has to be a committee.
Oh, the Native Americans got it.
Yes, Native Americans, Chinese, Japanese.
And the whole reason why people said 40 acres and a mule, because land meant value. It meant wealth. See, wealth is, people think wealth is money. Make it rain. The Rolls Royce. No, wealth is land. There's only so much land. So that's why when you said they were coming over here, the dirtiest immigrants, they were giving them at least 10 acres.
Right.
Right off the top, 10 acres, 10 acres. But you, no, you know. And so that whole thing with land creating wealth, and it goes back, you said the chain or the property that's the big thing. So when you start giving stuff to people say, well, we're trying to help them out too. They had a rough about. Well, okay, let's get something straight here before you give that out. What about let's do some programs over here to help these people who have been here already dealing with some bullshit, get their situation in a better predicament before you start throwing it all over here and saying, like you said,
absolutely,
passed up again.
Right.
Passed up again, bro.
Passed up again. Well, this is why I am a social and far more than social, financial and professional black separatist. I believe that black people should separate from every group of people in society as a unit, not to hate nobody, not to treat nobody bad, but to love themselves and treat themselves good. And when I say separate, I mean this. I have no idea why there's an NFL. I have no idea why there's an NBA. I have no idea why there are record labels or movie studios that have any black people working at them, except for this reason. Black people are all too eager to assimilate. Do you understand that, yes, I'm going to talk to you. Dear person that is not of Latin, Spanish, or Mexican descent, does the name Vicente Fernandez ring a bell to you? Probably not. Do you understand that this man, the easiest way to describe him is the Mexican Luther Vandross? That's the only way to describe this dude. When Vicente Fernandez comes to LA, he sells the forum out with no fucking problem. By word of mouth. On the radio. And your non-English, your non-Spanish speaking ass ain't gonna know nothing about it. Oh, Salvador, Vicente Fernandez. That's all it takes. And you got the fucking people digging about the grave to go see this dude sing Volver, Volver. I am telling you that because they have their own economy and their own secrets, they have their own power. As long as you begging Joe and Kamala, you are never going to get into Vicente line.
No.
Ever. Ever.
No.
Until you take your shit back. Until you stop giving away your slang. Until you stop giving away your cool. Until you stop giving away your sports and your spirit and your power and your energy. You are going to continue to be in the gimme line. And that's what I'm talking about. And I ain't talking about hating nobody. I'm talking about charging everybody for your shit. And until we get there, and there's a group of people coming after me that you're not going to have to explain this to. The only people you have to explain this to, again, are people who have been in eyeshot and earshot of Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. Yeah. And most of them motherfuckers is dying. And once they die off, now we're going to get some progress. But as long as you can put any chips...
They're actually blockers.
Yeah.
They're actually blockers for what they got going on, because as long as they... Get out there. Go ahead and do...
Yeah.
You owe us one, right?
Yeah.
Go up there and go do that speech for us.
Yeah.
And they keep the game going.
And they keep this game going, and you ain't got shit. At some point, you're going to wake up. But it's not going to be you. Because you still think that you can go and pull a what do you call that thing? You still think you can go and pull a curtain behind yourself and pull a lever and really make some change. You've had the right to vote since I was 9 months old. I'm 56, and you got the same fucking problems. That don't make no sense to you? That you need to quit fucking with Kamala and Joe? This is where you should stop? No? Good. Keep going. Tick-tock, nigga. Tick-tock. Keep with it. It's only a matter of time before you are going to be forced to go, you know what? I was on some bullshit. Because you are, if you expecting anybody.
I've already seen them in the comments. Damn, man, this is some straight bullshit. Man, I thought some shit was going to change.
Bruh, why? Why? What led you to believe what?
I thought, man, at least when Trump was in office, I was getting paid, man. I was making money.
Dude.
Shit, my business was booming, man.
This is not, I am not a Trump, I don't vote. I don't have a dog in the race. And this is no glowing support of Donald Trump. But if you can say that Joe Biden is any better when he didn't write any crime bills,
Yeah.
when Donald Trump is not status quo politics, when you think of politics and crooked politicians and you can't trust them and all those things you say about politicians, and you're talking about nameless, faceless politicians, do you understand that until Joe Biden became the vice president under Barack Obama's fake ass, do you understand that that's exactly what he was status quo politics, and the only reason that yo black ass knows anything about him is the fucking crime bill?
And you guys, like I said, you don't know about the crime bill, 1979, I want to say 1982 or 84, 1994, more blacks got locked up under these bills. 1994, Bill Clinton co-signed, and literally brothers, all the OGs, everybody who was anybody doing anything was gone.
Absolutely.
Over
little enough.
20 years for something that should have got
3 to 5.
You should have even got that. You should have got a warning.
Sure.
A lot of the time, the guy shouldn't even been locked up. First time offenders getting 20 years.
Right.
First time offenders.
Right.
You know, it didn't make sense. And these are the guy who called you guys cockroaches.
Yeah. But you good with that? You good with that?
I don't get it, man.
Because I tell you why I sadly get it. Because black people are so used to operating from a position of lack, that all they wait on is who's going to help them or fuck them in the name of helping them next. Because it never hits them that you're going to have to practice socialism inside of capitalism. It never hits you that if we put all our stimulus checks together, we can buy that vacant lot and grow food on it. Mm-hmm. Never hits you that maybe, just maybe, on this block, we'll put our stimulus checks together and buy beans. And on the next block, they're going to buy rice. And on the next block, they're going to buy vegetables with all of their money. And we put all of this money together and work together. But because you have been brainwashed into believing that anything your neighbor get is something you don't have, you can't wait to vote to change shit. And you're not gonna. It's just not gonna change just because you decide that this person who comes into office, and that's another fucking thing that I think we need to do with politics. When people become this active in it, to where, hello, person running for city council, from all the way from the high position of dog catcher all the way down to the low slimy ass position of president. Anything you running for, if I catch you one time double talking, leaping over, or using 200 words to say nothing, we're fucking done with you.
Yeah.
We're done with you. We don't care what the answer was to the question. Well, it was your approach. We're done with you.
The thing too, man, which is so crazy, man. I mean, this last, everything I've seen, man, I didn't think I would ever see it while I'm still alive. It's like something from Bizarro World. Remember that Batman?
Right.
Superman,
right.
the
Super
Bizarro clip?
Yeah.
It's like, he's like, everybody's just, it's just crime everywhere. It's just crazy, burning up.
Right.
And I said, I never thought I would see that, man, but we're almost at that. Remember they say that these people who run shit, they have a 100-year cycle? Mm-hmm. We're coming to that 100 years where it's the push is so crazy. And for you guys out there, when we're doing these NTS videos, man, we're trying to stimulate conversation, we're trying to stimulate dialogue, get you guys to, we're having conversations and we might not agree on everything, but it doesn't mean that I got to pick up a brick and bust him upside the head because he has a different opinion than me. This is showing you civilized men can have civilized conversations and at the end of the day come to a new rationale.
Sure.
And that's what this is all about. So for you guys out there watching this, you don't have to be a Republican, you don't have to be a Democrat, you don't have to love Trump, you don't have to hate Biden. We're just saying just think and put things in a perspective and just ask yourself, does it make sense? This guy, I mean, when you see it, it's not lies. You can see there's newspaper articles. There's everything's documented. It might have been it might have been wiped off the web while they were talking about but this is all real shit. These crime control acts, this is real shit. This is all real stuff, man. Do your homework and quit letting the media sway you real quick and you just jump on a bandwagon and pick up a picket and start marching. Go do your homework before you get behind somebody and realize that you're behind something that doesn't really add up.
Wow. Dude, let's go back to what you said about disagreement. If you are around 3 or more people who you can't disagree with and come to a resolution, all 4 of you motherfuckers is doomed. You're doomed.
Yeah.
If you don't have anybody around you who you respect their opinion that you can't disagree with, how do you grow? How do you grow? I surround myself with dudes who I think I can benefit from the strength of their experiences and their wisdom and their take on shit. And I hope that I come to places I disagree with them on, because that's right where I'm about to learn. Either they're going to learn from me or I'm going to learn from them. But if we spend 30 years not disagreeing, we spend 30 years not learning.
And we ain't learning from each other. Because
Absolutely.
if we all talking about the same shit and all have the same opinions,
shit.
It's obvious that we're missing a whole lot.
And yes, which brings us back to Doe, which you Kamala and Joe supporters, you Pearls and Chucks people that are awful fucking quiet right now. You're awful quiet. I'm going to go back through my feed. I'm going to go back through my Facebook feed and I'm going to find, as a matter of fact, I know some of you who are Instagram and Facebook friends with me who watch this show. From the time that this show is put up for you to see, from the time that you watch this, you have 72 hours to contact with me with answers to the questions that we have put in here about Kamala, Joe, and politics. If you don't, I'm going to start calling out your Jasper-ass, shade tree house coon asses. I'm going to start calling you out. I'm going to start posting what you said and where we are now. And I'm going to force you to either man up and grow a pair or block me. Because it is time out for people being able to use time to hide behind the bullshit ideology that they billowed out. And now that it's not working, we can't hear from you. Yeah. No, I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you on the same energy that we need to be with these politicians. Waffle one time. Go back on your word one time without acknowledging it. And as voters, this is when I would vote. As voters, if we look, I'm asking you a straight question right now, and I need a straight answer. You have 30 seconds. If any time after the 31st second, I hear you on some bullshit, your political career is over. That's where we need to be. And watch what starts happening then. When you start holding these people's feet to the fucking fire, I'm promising change.
Remember that button they had? Boom, and the bottom falls out?
Right? We need to start track going, motherfuckers. Oh, really? Double talk. Until you get there, you're going to be on the same old dirt track.
The next person I got up there, they be sitting there looking like, oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
If we started stoning politics, that's when politics. I would love a debate where people had rocks in the audience, but you can't throw a rock till you get the green light. And then somebody sitting there.
And they get pelted up.
Waffling. Boom, boom, boom. Getting busted in the face with bricks and shit, ribs cracking. Then you'll see who really wants to run for office.
Yeah. I don't know.
This shit ain't man. It's easier ways to get a limo. So fuck this.
Oh, man, yeah. We'll see then as far as how we step up, because I'm telling you right now, man, this shit's a joke.
It is, bro.
It's a joke, bro.
It is.
It's like, literally, man, I look at these people, and they're snickering and laughing. I mean, dude, it's just like, and it's like, who bought this? I mean, it's like, you mean to tell me, like, I'm a dude from the streets, and I have some college education, but I seen it coming a mile away.
It's the slick selling the stupid. That's all it is.
And then riling up the pot. Riling up the pot.
Oh, change. We're going to see change. Yes, you should know right there. You should go right there. The first time you hear the words progress, change, hope, or tomorrow, right then, you fucking suspect. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear what you have to say about redlining. I want to hear what you have to say about the issues, what you have to say about racist policies, what you have to say about schools, and I don't want to hear no double talk. And the minute I think I do, you're fucking canceled. When we start doing that, then you'll see change. I'll go down. I'll pull the fucking curtain behind me and pull the lever. When we get into some of that shit, till then, fuck all y'all.
NTS.
You already know.